feel. Put on a show. Make one wrong move and everyone will know.
Hello, let's recap Once Upon a Time Season 4, Episode 3, entitled Rocky Road. Rocky Road actually is a metaphor, but it references Rocky Road ice cream that Roland and Robin get at any given Sunday, the ice cream shop in Storybrooke. So Marian goes there with her family to get ice cream. Little does she know that she was given a frozen-inducing ice cream by the Snow Queen, who is Elizabeth Mitchell. Her Storybrooke alias is unknown at the time. Later, Robin and Marian attend a mayor's meeting held by Mary Margaret in Regina's former office, and she tries to defuse the whole ice wall scare. She tells them about Elsa, but of course everyone is, sensationalizing everything. Grumpy and Granny in particular are, fueling the mob scare and, that mob mentality. This intensifies once Marian collapses, and it seems that she's getting frozen, and turns out, her heart is frozen from the movie. Robin goes to get Regina, because at first he doesn't know what to do, and he's like, I didn't know who else to go to, which is kind of ridiculous because, there's Emma, the savior, there's also Mr. Gold, so you don't really have to go to your ex, but he's going to Regina when Marian's in trouble. She says, yeah, you need an act of true love. And that's when Emma and Hook and Elsa shows up, and, everyone's blaming Elsa. And of course, Regina makes the note that, Emma is protecting Elsa, however, she hasn't been doing a lot of saving this season. She's the Daphne of Storybrooke this season. She's just always getting captured, and it's everyone else who's saving her. First things first is, we need a true love's kiss to wake up Marian. And so Robin kisses her, and oh my goodness, it doesn't work! Now, of course, Charming's all like, oh no, I've seen this, this was Frederick, some spells are just too powerful. But then later Robin says, I don't think it was that, I think it was that I'm in love with someone else. I don't know why I was happy that his true love didn't work. It's just like, we know that Robin is truly in love with Regina, and theirs is true love, but Marian's is still, up for debate, so his true love is actually Regina, not Marian, which is why the true love kiss doesn't work, and so a lot of outlaw queeners were like, yay, even though it's kind of sad because she's still frozen. Regina's plan to help Robin is to rip out her heart and put it in one of her boxes so that the frozen ice cannot get to it. So her heart is going to be out of her body, so her heart can't get frozen. Great solution, right? Other things with Regina this week is she goes to Henry and she brings him comic books, trying to get back to a nice mother-son relationship, and she tells Henry that she's looking to find the writer of the book. And Henry sees this as, a great, opportunity. He says, that's the greatest idea you've had, a writer to give you your happy ending, because you've changed and that's what you deserve. You're not a villain anymore, and he truly believes this. However, given the fact that Regina kind of has a more evil motive, she wants to get rid of Marian and have Robin to herself. Henry doesn't really know about that yet, but, we'll keep Operation Mongoose, which is what they're going to call it, in the back burner now that tragedy has struck. So Emma goes into action, and she's pushing Hook away. She says, get Elsa somewhere safe, and do what I say for once, because he's obviously going to defy Emma, because he's just going to help her save the day, because that's just what he does. And so he takes her to Rumpelstiltskin, and now earlier they all went to Mr. Gold's shop and asked him about the urn. And in a deleted scene, the urn has magical powers that, contain any magical powers, especially Elsa, and so there's, little dust that he takes in a bottle and he's gonna keep, safekeeping. But he says that he doesn't know anything about Elsa or her sister or the urn or how she got in there or how they got in the vault. Belle uses the dagger on him. Now, this was kind of confusing, and I actually needed help with this, but he did swap the dagger back, and he put it back in Belle's bag. However, he kind of took it back when he found the hat, the the Fantasia Sorcerer's Apprentice hat. And so I'm guessing that Belle still has a fake one now, which was kind of counterintuitive because that whole scene and that whole episode was about Gold saying, son, I'm going to go on the right path and I'm going to give Belle back the dagger because, that's the trust that I want to build and I want to be that man. And now it's like, oh, he swapped it back when he found the powerful hat. So that was just kind of a letdown because I didn't realize that he actually did swap it back. So when she uses the dagger on him, it doesn't actually force him to tell the truth, and so he says, "No, I don't know anything," which now I'm starting to doubt. So Hook comes and he says, "Hi, I know you're lying," and I'm like, "How do you know?" And it was just kind of like intuition, like you would never actually give the dagger, that powerful item that you loved so much, to anybody, not even Belle. It turns out that he was right because Rumpelstiltskin was threatened when Hook said that if he asked Belle to summon him with the dagger, it wouldn't work. So that's a big letdown because now Rumple has to help him. And so this might lead to what's going to happen next episode with the giving back of his hand. Rumple gets the hair from Marian and he lets the magic lead them back to its source. So that leads them back to the Snow Queen in the forest. So David and Emma also get help leading to the Snow Queen by means of the Knave. Yes, Will Scarlet is in Storybrooke. Now, we don't know if this is pre-Wonderland or post. If it's post, that'd be kind of sad because I thought he was going back with Anastasia, but we'll find out what his story is later. So he's a thief, and he noticed the ice cream shop incident, and he knows that, the Snow Queen runs the ice cream shop, and she freezes everything, and so he's got the intuition that leads Emma and David. Elizabeth Mitchell, Snow Queen, has frozen Hook, and her objective as of now, it seems with the freezing Marian and trapping Hook, is to try to get the entire town to think that Elsa is a monster and to have them, revolt kind of against her. And so she says that she wants Elsa to see how people treat people like us with powers. And she says that Anna is the one who trapped her in the urn. But Emma saves them with magic and then she disappears. So later, Gold actually offers the Snow Queen help, so they have a relationship, they know each other. And Gold said that Emma might recognize the Snow Queen. So clearly, and also she seemed to know Emma when she showed up in the forest, and so it's clear that the Snow Queen has some sort of connection to Emma, or she's seen her before. But she says she doesn't need Gold's help, but there's something going on. Hopefully we'll see in the flashbacks next week. Speaking of flashbacks, here's what happened in Arendelle. Elsa is in her castle, and Anna hasn't returned. She's getting really worried, but there's an imminent threat looming. Hans' army is coming charging down, and their aim is to capture Elsa. So Kristoff, defying Elsa's orders, spies on him, learns about the urn, and how he's planning on capturing her. So he and Elsa travel down to the mountain and find the urn. Now, along this journey, Elsa learns not to be so alone and not to be so isolating. She learns to accept Kristoff and the things he has to offer. He's a really great character, he's kind of witty, and he's that, Kristoff that we all fell in love with in the movie. But this also leads to a weakness because now Hans threatens Kristoff's life for Elsa giving up the urn. That's what happens, and then Hans accidentally, instead of capturing Elsa, releases the Snow Queen. And this is, years in the past. So the Snow Queen freezes Hans, and she and Elsa go back to the castle where she says that she is Elsa's aunt. And so we're guessing that this is where the connection is, and that's why Elsa has powers, as her mother's sister does. So that we can parallel, her mother and Elizabeth Mitchell's character with Anna and Elsa. We don't really know if she's telling the truth about anything at this point. We really don't know who she is, but we'll probably find out next week. So Captain Swan at the end of the episode, turns out Emma has been pushing Hook away because everyone she's ever been with is dead, you know? You got Neil, you got Graham, you got even Walsh, the flying monkey, all dead, and so she just doesn't want to lose Hook because she doesn't know that she can do her job right as the savior, which is really sweet when you think about it. And so they share a kiss, and they're hopefully going to go on a date next week once Hook's got his hand back.